Hi, I'm Heather, and I'm here with my beautiful friend Tara.
Hi.
We are going to cook for you today. We've got our friend over here, Scarlett. She's actually an in-house registered dietitian for Growing Naturals. So she's going to help us. Hi, Scarlett. She's going to help us with all that we need to know. We have plenty of questions. I know you do.
I do, definitely.
Yeah. So in the process of this webisode series, we've been, as you may know, I'm a fitness expert, nutrition expert, but there's still so much that's always evolving and ever changing, and it's a constant, journey of learning new things. So I'm learning about going vegan because I've always been a meat and potatoes kind of girl. What about you?
Well, you and I have been talking, and the thing for me is I legitimately, I would love to go vegan, but my big question is, what do I eat when I'm really hungry?
Yeah.
Because I never think of vegans as having hearty meals. I always think of quinoa and pine nuts. That's not going to fill me.
Yeah.
So that's my big question. What do you eat as a vegan when you're really hungry?
And what do you think, Scarlett, is the kind of taboo, what people think about vegans from your experience?
I think that they think that it's a difficult thing to do.
Exactly.
Really not. I think one of the main things that you have to do is to focus on what you can eat rather than all the foods that you can't eat. And there's plenty of variety there, and I'm sure we'll get into that later. But yeah, that's one of the main things I think that you need to focus on is what you can eat rather than what you can't. And then obviously taking time to plan, because that's a challenge, and going vegan can be either one of the healthiest things you can do for your life or one of the unhealthiest things you can do.
Like just eating fries and chips all day long and calling it vegetables?
Super high starches. See, I always thought that being a vegan meant you're eating leaves and nuts, and that's what you're limited to, but maybe you can let us know.
Yeah.
And
I mean, some people think that they can automatically, well, not automatically, but they just imagine, removing any meat, but then all of a sudden they replace it with just potato chips or just cereal, things that don't have all the nutrients that you need. They don't necessarily think about fruits and vegetables. So that's one of the big goals, I think, is to focus on the healthier types of plant-based foods, the whole plant-based foods, like your fruits and vegetables, your whole grains, your beans, your nuts and seeds. All of those things are great replacements, and they're going to help you get the nutrients that you're not getting from the animal products and the animal meats.
Well, good.
And we have a big gift for everybody today. We're actually going to be making recipes that are more comfort foods, and
that's
more
exactly
hearty
what I
meals. I know as a fitness expert, it's so important that we have things prepared so that we're not going into crisis and blood sugar crashing and grabbing the first thing that we see, So I'm a big fan of make a big pot of something or use a cookie sheet, and bake or broil a whole cookie sheet full of things and keep it in your fridge to grab, heat it up and go,
Yeah, absolutely.
So, we're gonna start off with your how do you say it? Falafel?
Well, it's actually your high protein falafel recipe.
Awesome.
Yeah. So let's get into it. You wanna help me with some of these ingredients here?
Absolutely. Let's see.
I know we're not using these carrots, but I can start chopping away.
Okay. Chickpeas.
Chickpeas. We have chickpeas there. Let me get you and then I have a metal strainer as well.
Awesome.
We could do the metal strainer.
See, here's the other thing. We've been actually cooking for a while, and what you guys aren't catching is how good everything smells. And I know for me, as someone who's interested in going vegan, I never think of that rich aroma, that comforting smell. So you can actually have that as a vegan.
So, and I'm going to grab we're going to do 1.5 cup of chickpeas. And in this recipe, she used canned. Now, Scarlett, what is the big difference between using fresh chickpeas and canned chickpeas or beans or whatever it might be?
For falafels, I think the main difference is just the texture.
Yeah.
The canned chickpeas, are obviously boiled to a certain point where they get kind of really soft.
Right.
And so the falafel is a bit of a smoother texture, which is fine. You're still getting the same nutrients, but traditionally falafels are made with dried chickpeas that are soaked overnight for 24 hours.
Right. So
Cilantro.
I have a friend who is a vegan, and I went to her house one day, and she had this like bowl full of. You need this? Should we wash it?
I so will.
Ew,
no
you don't
dirt.
Want to, like find little
no dirt
or
for me.
something?
No, wait, here's the cilantro. No dirt for me, thank you.
Is that more nutrients if you eat a caterpillar or a little
I
bug?
think so.
Like more protein?
They're actually tasty, I hear.
Ew.
But I don't want any.
So I actually saw this bowl full of these beans sitting in water in her fridge. Do you know why she was doing that?
Sprouting?
Okay.
I guess.
Maybe, yeah. All right. I trust your judgment.
Beans and grains, and basically what that does is to kind of quote unquote loosen up the carbohydrates. It makes it a bit easier to digest. I know when you soak beans, for example, like the chickpeas, chickpeas and anything bean related or lentils, they tend to contain quite a bit of fiber, and that fiber can sometimes make you very bloated and gassy. And
that's
so
not
Don't want that.
soaking them overnight can kind of help to kind of pre-digest those fibers, so they're not as hard on your stomach, and they won't cause as much gassiness.
Okay. So I do know that I've heard people complain about like the bloated gut, and
Don't
it's
want that.
just miserable.
It's not hot.
They tried to go vegan, and they looked like they were pregnant. They were in so much pain. But that's interesting. So yeah.
So let's not do it, Scarlett.
Right? Where you go?
I will.
So we had 3 scoops of this, and today we're improvising. I didn't have the rice protein.
Improvising.
I didn't have the rice protein, so I have the pea protein, and there's a big difference with that.
It should be 3 tablespoons though.
Okay.
Unless you're making a bigger batch.
No, we're gonna follow your directions as much as possible because I like how you think. So we have 3 tablespoons. That's this guy. All right. And how did you come up with this? Are you just kind of like a mad scientist in the kitchen?
No, not at all. Well, I was just thinking, about certain vegetarian or vegan meals that people eat, and falafels is definitely one that came to mind as a vegetarian or vegan meal that people may have. And I thought, why not boost the protein content a little more?
Right.
I think regularly chickpeas have about 8 or 10 grams of protein in them. And I said, even adding just 1 tablespoon of the pea protein can add about 5 or 6 grams of protein. So that's a big boost.
Right.
So I don't know. I just feel like it would make it a little more satisfying. I think if you were to add more protein.
Yeah.
That's one of the beautiful things about protein is that it helps to keep you full.
Totally.
And so that's why I guess I thought about this recipe, boosting the protein content to kind of just help it keep you more satisfied and also give you more nutrients, which vegans definitely need to be keen about getting enough protein. Not that you can't get it from plant-based sources. You certainly can get all the protein that you need from plant-based sources, but you definitely need to be conscientious about the amount that you're getting.
And I think a lot of people don't realize how much protein is actually in legumes. Legumes being like the peas and beans and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of protein in there.
I mean, That's definitely one of the main protein sources for vegans and vegetarians. Is I would say beans, legumes, lentils, all of that.
So we have 1 3/4 of chickpeas, 3/4 cilantro leaves. We have
3/4 parsley.
3/4 parsley fresh. We have 3 tablespoons. We're keeping that separate. We're gonna do half a small yellow onion and a tablespoon of minced garlic. So we already preheated the oven to 400 degrees. Drain the liquid from the can of chickpeas into a small bowl and set aside. We have that here. Place all ingredients except for the protein powder, into a processor and process. So I don't actually have a processor. We're gonna go old school. We're
doing this old-fashioned way.
As a tribute to my mom.
Like people used to do things.
So we're gonna do a mixing bowl with a little mixer. So processor and process until smooth. If it's not mixing well, add a liquid from the chickpeas, 1 tablespoon at a time, just enough to help it mix. Then add the rice protein and process until thoroughly combined. The dough should be pretty thick and dry so that you can form the balls or patties.
And try not to cry when you cut the onions.
So one time I was cooking at home with my mom, and I came up with this very inventive idea that I put ski goggles on.
Okay, that would work. But it gets like that though.
It made quite the fashion statement, but we're not going to do that today.
Oh, cool.
So bake.
You guys, this is awesome. It feels like Thanksgiving in here right now.
I know. Well, Thanksgiving in Southern California, right?
My favorite kind.
Okay.
No, I grew up in New York City, so I'm very used to like the snow and the rain and just the intensity of the seasons during the holidays. So I actually prefer this.
Yeah. Where in New York did you grow up?
I was born in Brooklyn. I grew up in Queens. I lived in Manhattan. I went to college in the city. So like all the boroughs.
Yeah. Very
except for
cool.
Staten Island.
Charlotte, where are you from?
I actually was raised in Miami, Florida, which is sunny and summery all year long. And then after school, I moved to California and was there for 3 years. And now I am in South Dakota.
South Dakota. Is it cold there yet?
Say again?
Is it cold there yet?
Not yet. It's starting to cool off. Just now it's 43 this morning, so it's getting chillier in the morning, but it still goes up to 70 or 80 in the afternoon. So
how are the chickens?
Yes, I have chickens.
How are the chickens?
The chickens are awesome. They love the cold weather.
How many chickens do you have?
6.
See? Do you have goats and cows too?
No, just chickens and a puppy.
You guys, I'm so crying now.
I'm so sorry.
I'm having onion sadness right now. I literally am crying right now.
I didn't mean it. Okay, so we have minced garlic. We need the cumin. Here, do you want to do the cumin?
Yeah.
We need half a teaspoon of cumin.
Okay.
And then we need teaspoon of coriander seeds. I've never cooked with coriander seeds. What can you tell me about them? They're like a mystery to me.
Coriander seeds are actually the same as the seed version of, what is that? Is it cumin? I think it is cumin actually.
Cumin.
So the seeds are just the seed version of cumin when you brown them. I think that's what it is. Is that what I'm thinking of correctly? I can't remember right now. I actually had never cooked with the whole seed either, but it definitely gives it that flavor.
Yeah.
That for the falafel, that like distinct falafel flavor.
So it's mostly for the zest, the flavor in the.
Yeah.
It doesn't have superpowers. Coriander doesn't have like a superpower or anything like that. It's not going to make my skin glow or.
It may. Seeds are definitely rich in phytonutrients and minerals. So every little plant-based source of food or anything is going to definitely help your overall health.
I like it.
Where's the zester?
So, we don't have a zester.
Nice. Nice.
Right?
I love it.
I know, huh?
I will create a zest.
What about this?
That is not tiny though.
Can you
is
do
not,
it tiny?
Well, I can, yeah, I can actually.
So we were having this private conversation before we chimed you in about like when you start to go on that path of going vegan, what is it that people are mostly missing?
I was going to ask you
Nutrients.
that. Yeah, I'm really curious about that.
What do people forget?
It's not so. There's definitely a few nutrients that you need to be mindful of, or more mindful of, when you're going vegan. And one of the ones that we talked about was protein. Another one would be vitamin B12.
Okay.
That's definitely a big one for vegans, or for going vegan.
So how do I get vitamin B12? How do I get vitamin B12 out of like the natural goodness?
I don't. Well, nutritional yeast, for one thing, is a good source of vitamin B12. Actually, there's a lot of talk that things like seaweeds or nori or spirulina contain
I didn't know that.
B12, but while they do contain B12, it's not the active form of B12, so it doesn't really count towards your daily needs.
Okay.
There is a lot of research to back this up, and so you really want to either go for fortified foods, like they have some plant milks that are fortified with B12, some cereals, nutritional yeast, like I said, or a lot of soy products are also fortified with B12. And that's really important to get because B12 protects your nervous system. It aids in the production of your DNA, your RNA.
That's what I need, Scarlett.
What?
That's what I need, Scarlett.
Yeah.
We're not getting any younger here.
We need all the help we can get.
Our kids are aging us fast.
Absolutely.
That's what happens when your kids get taller than you.
I know, seriously.
My
Mine
oldest
is
son
up
is
to
taller than me now.
Mine is already up to my shoulder, and like,
It's not even.
sprouting
It's
like
a little traumatizing. Like, his favorite thing to do is to stand next to me and just let me know how short I am.
and talk in this man voice.
Oh yeah, all the time. And then he calls me little mommy. No.
Oh my goodness. So I just add a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne. We're gonna do salt and pepper, and then sesame seeds are at the end, right? To garnish.
I believe so.
It looks good. This looks yummy already. Smells so
That's
good.
what I was just
oh
thinking.
my god. All right, so olive oil first.
You can never
right
go
in
wrong
the
with lemon and
pan.
garlic.
I know.
No, yummy. It's such a yummy combination.
See, this is what I needed because I don't think of cooking
that?
and heartiness and like I could do this with my kids. I could do this with my friends. We could
Totally.
hang out and it would still feel like I was not just making salad only.
Totally.
You know?
Exactly.
You're not just eating leaves.
Exactly. Because a lot of it is all the senses and the smells and, you know, how things feel and the whole thing.
So I'm gonna plug
and
this
I think
in.
veganism has come a long way. There's definitely a lot more options available out there. I mean, you can
Totally.
find anything. I've even seen like a vegan tuna tartare nowadays.
Wow.
Can you make that for me?
Find lots of vegan options and alternatives to different foods, so it's not as hard, you know, to
think
go
that's
out
good.
to a restaurant and get a
Perfect.
vegan meal, or to find different
My improvised little lemon
comfort
there.
foods
Yeah.
in stores or anything like that. So it's definitely a little bit easier nowadays than it was in the past, I would say.
Totally. You know, I actually, the recipe that we'll be cooking later on today, I actually took a pre-existing recipe and just swapped out some of the ingredients to be vegan, and it turned out
Really
fabulous. Yeah, it was really good. So we don't need that anymore. So now we're gonna take a quick little break because this is gonna be loud. So we'll go ahead and do that real quick and mix this up.
And we need liquid
So everybody
too,
hang
right?
tight. What's that?
We need liquid too, right?
Yeah. So we had a little bit of a detour.
Yeah, a little bit, kind of.
This is not what you want to use.
That is not what you want to use.
No. So
and
we
this
found,
is not what you want to use
no,
either.
we found a shake mixer.
But it's what we had, so we had to go with it.
And she worked it out. So we've got a beautiful mix here. You want to see this?
Well, hold on. It's not so beautiful right now.
So mix, yeah.
I
So,
mix
but
it.
look at that. It almost looks like guacamole.
You know what? This is what we
It
did.
looks- and it smells delicious. So we're gonna do this, and we have to add in our protein
And it tastes
now.
delicious.
She's eating all the.
I'm eating over here, so it's sanitary.
So we're gonna add the protein. Do you want to mix that
I
up?
so do.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and put olive oil in here because we're gonna get to paint olive oil on top after we do the little muffin
Beautiful.
things. Yeah. And I think you might have wanted to add some salt and pepper to taste. So just to your liking, as you saw her like finger tasting, which I love
Yeah,
to do.
finger tasting the other thing.
have
Not
to.
in here, not in here.
Exactly. So yeah, that's where we're at. And let me grab, where is
Okay.
our spray? So we're gonna take a nice little cooking sheet like this, little muffin sheet, and spray with some non-stick,
Awesome.
the
Oh,
olive oil.
Those are those really cute ones.
Totally. So I'm curious, Scarlett, in each of these little muffin things, in these little falafels, how much protein will we be getting in each one? Do you know? Estimate? Round?
Let's see. I calculated that you get about 16 total falafels, 15 or 16.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
it's about 20 grams total. So
That's great.
what would that be?
In one
I'm
falafel.
very good at math. No, for all. Wait.
16.
It's about 40 grams of protein for all 16.
So I
Okay.
have to eat all of them then. That makes
So-
huge sense.
So you probably like I don't
A
know.
little more, a 2.5 per each little falafel.
Okay. Cool.
So
So,
do
it's
I-
kind of like an in-between snack.
Yeah, or you could make a meal out of it, put it over a pita,
Ooh,
put
I
some
like
salad
that.
on top
Yeah,
and make a
okay.
falafel
Okay.
pita.
Here, let me help here.
Okay.
You can make a meal out of it too.
Yeah, we're totally getting in the spirit for Thanksgiving
I
right
was
now.
just gonna say that it feels like a little holiday action. I'm gonna make this, Scarlett.
Awesome. You could do an appetizer.
Yes.
You know what? I'm actually gonna cook for my mother. She'll be thrilled.
I love it. So what else do you like to put with this besides like the pita and stuff like that? Do you do like a rice? Do you do another vegetable side? What's your jam?
I personally love the falafel inside the pita with the salad on top. But yeah, you could absolutely do it as a side with some rice and another vegetable of sorts.
Yum yum, says the bear.
Veggie. You can put it on a salad. You can put the falafels on top of the salad itself. There's a lot of options. You just got to get a little creative.
So we didn't fully blend the chickpeas because we thought it might be kind of yummy with like
Yeah.
a whole little bite of chickpea.
So we'll
Little
see how that
surprises,
goes.
yeah. We're getting creative.
I love it.
She approves.
Yay!
Awesome.
You guys, thank you though, because this has answered a really big question for me. Like,
What's your question?
to be a vegan,
Yeah.
it is homey. You can cook. It is
Yeah.
fun. There are hearty meals. You do, you know,
Totally.
you can do this with your friends. You can do this with your family.
Exactly. And I imagine my son would eat this too. I have a 9-year-old little boy,
I'm
and
thinking
he
so
would be
too.
chowing down on this.
I think my kids would eat this too.
I mean, he might be a little weirded out that it's green, but once you taste it, it's delish.
Okay, I think
Do we have enough?
that's good.
Almost.
Let's do this.
Okay.
Let's make magic.
Woohoo! All right, so once we get these in here, then we get to paintbrush some olive oil on top and sprinkle. I have some sesame
here and
seeds.
eat this raw bowl here.
Here's for you.
Yummy.
And you already put salt and pepper in, right?
I did.
Okay, good. Whew. So I'm just gonna I put a little bit of olive oil in here. I'm just gonna paint. Do you want to go behind me and sesame seed the tops?
I so do.
I had a feeling you did.
I just so do.
I had such a feeling. Okay, so we're just gonna do this really fast. Yeah. Perfect. Oh, these are gonna be so cute. I love the look of this.
I'm gonna do my best to not cut myself right now.
Yeah, don't do that. I just got a call from my son's school and he got hit in the head with a basketball. We don't need another chopped off finger or something. Thank you.
No. And then there was the time that you and I were sitting there talking, and then my son broke his finger. So you know,
Totally.
they do what they do.
I mean, we have a big job being moms here. You know, it's interesting. Like as you try and incorporate some of this healthier food choices, I mean, you're teaching, you're molding and shaping your child for the rest of their life, you know? And Mason actually loves to get in the kitchen with me, and like he loves the mixer, of course, because it's kind of messy. But I don't know. What about your boys?
They eat anything, actually. They're really, really good. But obviously they love hamburgers and french fries.
Yeah.
So
So what would you say are like the top 3 go-to
okay, perfect.
menu items for kids? Like what is the most popular in your opinion?
To me,
Yeah, you. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the oven now.
really good question. Since I don't have kids, I'm not really familiar with the kids menu, so I'm not sure. But let's see.
Like if you were to say that kids usually gravitate towards, like if you look at the kids menu, it's a burger, it's the chicken tenders, it's the mac and cheese plate, it's the, you know, what else? Like, I mean, those are some big ones. What would you replace the mac and cheese with as a good substitute item?
I mean, a basic peanut butter and jelly sandwich would be great. I think that it's got some protein in there, as long as it's on like a whole grain bread of some sorts. I think you're going to get your protein in there. Definitely a lot of minerals. You're going to get some sugar from the jelly too, and you definitely need some sugar. Kids need definitely want some energy for them.
I have a question. You know, speaking of being moms, you know, when we go to the restaurants, like on the menu, you generally have like macaroni and cheese, chicken tenders, hamburger, you know, cheeseburger, whatever, spaghetti. What do you guys think are some healthy options for a vegan choice for a child?
You know what? Well, we're not vegan yet. But I like when I go out with my kids, we always get, you know, salads and things like that, and they're really good with that actually.
Yeah.
I would say we're getting like the big like a taco salad kind of thing. Again, they're not vegan,
like
but it's something fun for them, you know, and that they will eat that. And I've noticed that my kids are, I mean, I'm not gonna say healthier than other kids, but they generally don't gravitate towards
like
junk
unhealthy,
food,
yeah.
right, all the time. And I personally don't go to fast food restaurants,
That's good.
like at all.
Oh my gosh, I saw this video on YouTube, and it was about the pink goo. I'm not gonna go into
That's
the details.
awful.
But
That's
you guys
awful.
should Google it.
No,
Yeah, it was so
I've
bad.
seen
So
it. It's
Mason
gross.
saw the video. My son saw the video, and he was like, "I will not go to a fast food restaurant," and he refuses to go, which is crazy. Yeah, so no pink goo.
Yeah, that's really it's it's traumatic when you think about it.
It really is.
And that's another reason why I've been wanting to go vegan. I don't know if you guys seen the videos of like little kids crying because of what they know is happening to animals, blah,
I think
blah,
I reposted that. Did you see mine?
You know what? Probably. And it's like
The little girl was bawling. She was
crying.
like, I don't think the animals like to be cooked in the
No,
oven.
it made me so
I was
sad.
like, no, they don't.
And to be honest with you, it was that little girl that really
Yeah.
touched me and got me thinking like, I don't really want to eat meat too much anymore either. So thank you for showing me how to do this. And
this has been great.
Like, letting me know, because it started with that little girl who cried and made my mommy heart just like burst and cry. So this is good because I needed that like practical, what do you eat? So thank you, ladies.
Yeah, thanks, Scarlett.
I was just going to add, Tara, one of the biggest or best tips, I guess, for going vegan is that you should not go cold turkey.
Okay.
That may work for a very small percent of the population, but for most people, you kind of just have to phase it out. Start by doing one day where you go with all meatless meals, and then kind of work your way up to more days throughout the week where you're having meatless options. Don't just all of a sudden, say from one day to the next, go from going all this meat and not eating anything, because for one, it's going to be probably really overwhelming,
Right.
And you're probably not likely going to stick to it. So I think phasing it out is probably the best option if you're having reservations or thinking about going vegan.
One of the basic meals that I've been leaning towards as a beginner vegan, I started having like a lentil soup with chips.
Can you make that for me?
Right?
It
comes out of a can.
Make it for me, please.
It comes out of a can.
Lentils are awesome.
what?
They
Make that for me.
definitely
Don't tell me.
have
Just
a lot of
say I made it. That's
protein.
fine.
Yeah.
And they also have iron, which is one of the other nutrients that vegans should be mindful of, because iron from plant foods is not absorbed as well as iron from animal products, and so you really have to be conscientious to get enough sources with iron in them, and that's going to be things like beans, lentils, legumes, leafy greens have a lot of iron in them. One thing that actually helps to absorb the iron is to add citrus, vitamin C.
Okay.
C actually helps the absorption of iron, so definitely want to add anything like a let's see, lemon juice. If you were to spritz some lemon juice on broccoli, or even the lemon juice in the chickpeas, actually. So the lemon juice that we added to the falafels will help to absorb the iron from the chickpeas.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But you know what else this is really is support, being in a community, having friends, or being on a Facebook page perhaps, where there's other people going vegan or doing the same thing. I think, like for me, for instance, I had the question, but I didn't do anything about it until here I am now.
Perfect,
with friends
like girl
who are,
date, make a recipe that you haven't tried before, improvise. Take some recipe that already exists, swap out for vegan, meatless ingredients, no dairy, no meat, and it's a good girl date.
It is, because now I'm going to do this.
Yeah,
so
totally.
This works.
So our falafels are done.
Okay, I need to try these.
I grabbed these out of the oven, and they look so
Scarlett, they
cute,
look really
like
good.
Bite-sized
Eat these.
deliciousness. So let's go ahead and
That's
grab a
awesome.
spoon.
That was awesome.
Here you go.
Thank you. Scarlett. They're really good. They're really good.
So the ideal way to eat this is in like a pita with some tomatoes and stuff like that. Is that?
Scarlett, I love these. They're awesome. They're super hot though right now.
I know.
They're super hot.
You want to make sure you let them cool down for like a good 10
And
minutes or
don't burn your
something.
tongue.
Don't burn your tongue.
No,
No, don't burn your tongue.
Yeah. So, and did you want to talk
Oh
about
my gosh.
with a mouthful?
I do. I totally do. Well, look at how cute this is.
Yeah.
So-
I love it.
Maybe,
me see.
yeah. Look at how cute that is. Those are for, you can put your salad dressing or your hummus in here and
Or
take
your
it with you.
protein powder.
Or your protein
Yeah.
powder and take it with you. Because the whole thing is like being a vegan, having your lifestyle be portable and take things with you. Like something like this, you can make your falafels, bring it with you, take it to the park. Like, because I know for me, again, it's like, how do you maintain that whole vegan lifestyle? Do you have to be with only a dehydrator? Like, how can it be part of your life?
Right,
You know?
right.
And so just put it in a cute, cute little container like this, a cute little Growing Naturals container like this.
I love it.
I know, it's actually really super cute. I like it a lot.
I love these little compartments. Yeah. So to continue learning more about nutrition and diet and how to go on this path health-wise, Scarlett will be on growingnaturals.com. She's our in-house registered dietitian. So all kinds of information, tidbits, and tips to help you on your path.
And if you go on gnrecipes.com, there'll be amazing recipes like this and the vegan chili.
Yeah, try the falafel.
And we have an awesome community on Facebook, the GN Fit community, for all kinds of tips, hints, recipes, tricks, and people like Heather and Scarlett and me on there just to give you support and be friends and say that you can do it.
Yeah, I love it. Thanks for joining us.
And thank you for going vegan with Growing Naturals.
Yeah.